Hello everyone, myself Girish Kumar. Welcome to my channel GK Coders. Please like, share and subscribe my channel. Today I am going to explain preprocessors, right? So as the name suggests, preprocessor are programs that process our source code before compilation. So what is a preprocessor? It is a program that processes our source code before compilation. So there are number of steps which are involved when writing a program and executing a program in C. So now we'll see what are the steps which are actually involved during starting of writing a program and executing a C program. Is it clear? Yes. So first thing, what we do? We write our source code. We can say that file name as program. Alright. So this is our source code. So we will write our source code by using any one of the editor. Right. Once the program has been written, we'll call this as program.c. Each and every C program should end with an extension called .c. Is it clear? Next, once the program has been written, this file is then processed to the preprocessor. Right. So once it has been sent to the preprocessor and an expanded source code file is generated. So the outcome of preprocess is that is nothing but one file will be generated. Right. So that is name is nothing but a program. Right. So next this file is sent to the compiler. So the compiler, what it does? Compiler checks for the errors and converts the file into object file. So the output of this compiler is nothing but your object file. We'll get a file called program.obj. Is it clear? So after it has been successfully compiled, we'll send it to the, so I'll say right here. After it has been successfully compiled, we'll send it to the linker. Yes. So here your obj file comes into picture. So once it is sent to the linker, what the linker does? The linker links the object code file to the object code of the other library functions. Right. So in order to generate an exe file. Right. So you'll get an program.exe file. Is it clear? And then this exe file will be executed. So these are the different steps which are involved from starting to writing a program till the execution of the program. Is it clear all of you? Yes. Now we'll go for the preprocessor directive. So preprocessor directives provide directives tells the compiler to preprocess the source code before compiling. So what it tells? So it tells preprocess the source code. So this information is given to the compiler. Is it clear? So all the preprocessor directives begins with a symbol called hash. Right. So the hash symbol at the beginning of any statement in C program indicate that it has a preprocessor directive. So it is a preprocessor directive. Right. So we can place these preprocessor directives anywhere in the program. Is it clear? Some of the preprocessor directives are hash include, hash define, hash ifdef, etc. So these are some of the preprocessor directives. Is it clear? So the main types of preprocessor directives are, first one is your macros, second one is your file inclusion directives, and third one is your condition compilation directives. So these are the three main categories of preprocessor directives. Is it clear? Now we'll see each and every directive individually. So first thing we go for macros. So what are macros? So macros are a piece of code in a program which is given some name. Alright. So whenever this name is encountered by the compiler replaces the name with the actual piece of code. Right. So the hash define directive is used to define a macro. Is it clear? So we'll understand this macro with an example program. Right. So hash define, assume that we have written hash include stdio.h, hash define, I'll say max 5. So this max will be your identifier and this 5 will be your substitution text. So wherever this identifier max is there, that will be replaced by the text that is 5. Is it clear? So we go for the main function. So inside the main function, what I'll do, I'll just use loop. I'll declare one variable int I. For I is equal to 0, I less than max, I plus plus. So what I'll do, I'll just print the value of I. Is it clear? So this is a small piece of a code where what happens inside the main function, I've declared one variable and I'm using one looping statement. For I is equal to 0, initial I becomes 0, 0 less than max. So here there is an identifier. So what is the value of this identifier? So the value of this identifier is already defined. Is it clear, all of you? So here, whenever the identifier called max is encountered in the program, it may be in one place, it may be in a number of places. Each and every time this symbol is encountered, this will be replaced by the text. That is nothing but the identifier 5. So this will be replaced by 5. Is it clear? So now max is replaced by 5. So then what will be output? First I is 0, 0 less than 5, condition is true, print 0. Next I becomes 1, 1 less than 5, condition is true, print 1. Next I becomes 2, 2 less than 5, condition is true, print 2. Next I become 3, 3 less than 5, condition is true, print I. Next I become 4, 4 less than 5, condition is true, print I. Next I become 5, 5 less than 5, condition become false and the program terminate. Is it clear, all of you? So by using this define directive, we can declare a macro. Right? So whenever you encounter this symbol will be replaced by this identifier, that is nothing but the value. Is it clear? And one more thing you have to remember here, there is no semicolon. So a macro directive does not end with a semicolon. So we should not write any semicolon for a macro. So whenever I am defining a macro, we should not terminate the macro with the help of semicolon. Is it clear? Now we'll take one more example. Here we have just taken one variable. Now we'll take one function as a macro. Right? So here what happens? So when we pass an arguments to macro, macro defined with arguments works similarly as that of the functions. So we'll understand with the program. So I'll say hash define, I'll say area, L comma B. So this area, whenever I encounter a function name called area L comma B, 2 parameters, it should be replaced by L into B. Is it clear? So this is the identifier and this is substitution text. Right. So we'll go for the main function. So inside the main function, what I'll do, I will say L1 is equal to 10, comma L2 is equal to 5, comma area. Is it clear? So I've taken the same function name. So what I'll do, I'll just take area. Right. So now area is equal to, see this one both are different. Area L1 comma L2. Is it clear? So now here I am making a call for the function by passing 2 parameters. So here what happens, we have defined one macro by name area which takes 2 parameters. So when this entire part is executed, so this entire thing will be replaced by the text, that is L into B. Is it clear? Now what is L1? 10. What is L2? 5. So 10 into 5, you will get the answer as 50. Right? So what I'll do, I'll just print the value. Printf area is equal to %d area and close the program. Yes. So when I execute this program, what happens? This entire function call will be replaced by this substitution text, that is L into B. So L1 is 10 will be assigned to L. L2 is 5 will be assigned to B. So 10 into 5 you will get the output as 50. Is it clear? So this is how we can write a function as a part of macro. Is it clear? Yes. Next one. So next we go for the second important thing, that is file inclusion. File inclusion. So this type of preprocessor directive tells the compiler to include a file in the source program. So there are two types of file which can be included by the user in the program. So the first one is your header files, or we say it as standard files. Right. So these files contains definition of predefined functions such as printf, scanf. So the functions, the definition of this printf and scanf is present in these standard files. Right. So these files must be included whenever I am using printf and scanf function in our program. Is it clear? So this printf and scanf are present in a file called stdio. Is it clear? So you have to include this file stdio.h. Suppose I am performing using any built-in functions which is related to string, then I should use string.h. Is it clear? So by writing the name of the file, we can include that entire functions into our program. Is it clear of you? These are nothing but your header files or standard files. So next thing we can go for a user-defined files. So how do you write that this one? We can say hash include stdio.h. So whenever I am writing this statement, so here the beginning hash indicates it's a preprocessor directive. Include says that this file stdio should be included as a part of this program. Is it clear? So here this angle brackets indicate the compiler will look for the file in the standard directory. Standard directory. Is it clear? Yes. Next one we go for user-defined files. User-defined files. So user-defined files. Why we go for user-defined files? Generally what happens whenever we write a program, if the program becomes very large, it is a very good practice to divide the program into smaller files and include whenever necessary. So these types of files are user-defined files. So how can we include? We can say hash include. In a pair of double quotes we can write file name. Is it clear? So as we include our standard library file, similar that we can also include our user-defined file. So what is the difference between this angle bracket and double quotes? If I use this angle brackets, then the compiler will look for the file in standard directory. So if I use in double quotes, so the compiler will look for the particular file in current directory. Is it clear? This is the different ways of defining a particular file. Is it clear all of you? So this too comes under file inclusion. So next one we go for third one, very important, that is your condition compilation. Conditional compilation. So this condition compilation directives are the type of directives which help the compiler to compile a specific portion of a program or to skip compilation of some specific part of the program based on the condition. Based on the condition specified. Is it clear? So this can be done with the help of two preprocessor directives such as hash if def and hash endif. Is it clear all of you? So if the preprocessor directive is defined, then execute some part of the code. If it is not defined, execute the other part of the code. Is it clear? Now we'll see some syntax. How to use this condition compilation. Hash if diff. If diff means if the macro has been defined. So whatever the identifier I am giving here, if this identifier is defined, then execute the part of the code, that is body of if block. Statement 1 to statement n. Is it clear? Suppose if this identifier or macro is not defined, then we can go for the else part. Statement, you can have one statement or you can have n statement. After that, close it. So here you need to write hash end if in order to indicate the end of the if block. Is it clear, all of you? So this is how we can go for condition compilation. Now we'll see a small program on this topic. Right. So first, I will make use of this condition compilation. So I will say hash include stdio.h and I will define one macro hash define, I will say line. So this identifier line will be replaced by the substitution text, that is 1. So we'll go for the main function. So inside the main function, what I'll write? I'll say hash if define line. So if the line macro is defined, if it is defined, execute the statement. So I will say single statement, no need of using block. This is line 1. Is it clear? If not, go for the else part. Print f. This is not line 1 and go for end if. Is it clear? Now we'll see how it works. So first the control will transfer here. Here I am defining a macro already, it is known to the compiler. If define line, so the macro line is being searched in the program, so it is defined. So here the line is defined and the substitute text is 1. Means wherever I get this line, I should replace by 1. So if define 1, so this macro is defined. Then the condition becomes true. So this part of the code will be executed. Hence in the output you will get this is line 1. Is it clear? So in the output you will get this is line 1. Similar to this, there is one more thing. If n defined, if here only make change, means if the macro is not defined. Is it clear? So that can be written by using n there. If not defined. So here what happens if not defined line is defined. So what happens? Condition become false. So for if not defined, what happens? You will get the output as this is not line 1. Is it clear, all of you? So you can go for two types. One is if defined, or you can also go for if undefined, that is not defined. Is it clear? So these are the different types of preprocessor directives which are supported in your C program. Is it clear? So we can also create our own program. We can also create our own file also, or we can also create our own library. Is it clear? So each and every preprocessor directive should be beginning with an hash. So a hash symbol indicates it's a preprocessor directive. Now we'll see some set of assignment questions for you people on these preprocessor directives, right? So first one is, so I'll say first one, hash include stdio.h. So I'll say hash define. I'll use one function name called print. I'll pass two parameters, that is I and limit. So what I'll say? I'll say do, perform the operation. If I less than limit, then what has to be done? Then I will say print gk coders and then continue. So is it clear? So I'll close here. I'll say y1. Right. So after this, I'll go for the main function print. I'll say 0, 3 and close the program. Observe this program properly Yes, if there are any mistake, it is purposely written for you people. So trace this program and say what will be the output. Is it clear? Now we'll go for the second assignment question. Second, hash if x is equal to 3, then hash define y as 3. Is it clear? If not, go for the else part. Else define y as 5 and end if. So we'll go for the main function. So inside the main function, I'll try to print the value of y. Now you have to say what will be the value of y. Is it clear? Say this program properly and say what will be the output. Is it clear? Yes. So we'll go for the third assignment question. Yes. Right. Hash define x as 3. So wherever you get x, replace by 3. Hash if not x, printf not is opposite. Printf, I'll say print gk. If not, print coders. And end the if block. So we'll go for the main function. Observe properly what I'll write in the main function. I will not write nothing. Now by seeing this, you say what will be the output of this program. Is it clear, all of you? So these are the 3 assignment questions which you need to solve based on the topic called preprocessor. Is it clear, all of you? Again, what is a preprocessor? To summarize, a preprocessor are program that process our source code before compilation. So there are, is it clear? So that is what preprocessor is about. So when I say preprocessor, each and every preprocessor will begin with the symbol called hash. So this preprocessor program provide or directives which tells the compiler to preprocess the source code before compilation. And each and every preprocessor directive will be indicated with the symbol called hash. Is it clear, all of you? Yes. Thank you. Thanks for watching the video. Thank you.